Story time. He looked out of the field of beheaded warriors, and in his hands he held the head of the Pumpkin King. He had won. Story time.
The lad decided to do the honorable thing and share his treat with Mother. Oh.
Story time. It was clear that a romance was blossoming between them. No! A romance lasting a lifetime. Story time. She stared at the gown and thought, yes, this is something my husband would wear.
Story time. The receptionist's dark secret was that the computers were only used for Minesweeper.
How did you know?
Story time. Sadly, only one cookie remained in the store.
Sorry, boys. Daddy's getting that cookie.
Story time. The man came to the bus stop every day to pick up hot chicks. Story time. This was the moment the lad would propose to the girl.
No.
Story time. She had no clue she was about to run into a bridge that was nowhere near her.
Would you say that?
Story time. With that curl, he knew he was now ready to beat up that kid Jimmy at school for stealing his milk.
Stupid Jimmy.
Story time.
The ladies congregate here every day to scope out the hot dudes.
Yeah, we do.
Story time. It was common law that a flower be presented to the loveliest lass.
Well, and of course that's me.
Story time.
Of all the works of art in this room, she was the loveliest.
Story time.
In every group of friends, there's the dumb one.
Really?
Story time.
Little did she know the mysterious figure creeping up behind her. Story time. Here she comes, the queen, able to kill men with a single stare.
You better watch out, honey.
Story time.
The man's butt scratching was complete.
Dude, what?
It was delightful.
True. What? Story time. At last, the two came together for a tender kiss.
Oh.
Oh. Story time.
She had been waiting her whole life for someone to sweep her off her feet.
Can you feel?
Story time.
On this blessed day, the two proclaimed their love. Oh, shoot, guys, okay?
Story time. The girl loved smelling her phone. It filled her with delight. She sniffed once more.
Story time. He was a gracious soul, offering food to those in need. His kindness...
Story time.
The man knew exactly what to do to embarrass his son. Story time. One of these men forgot to check their flies. That man was me. These three were fine.
Story time.
The two were models, and they loved to strut their stuff.
Story time. She heard that a kick would release a free movie. She heard wrong. Story time. It became clear to them that one of them had let out a huge fart.
Story time. No matter how fast he ran, he could not escape the demon, but he would not let his soul be taken today.
Story time. The man was about to step on a snake! On a snake! But he missed it.
Story time. With this final bag, she had completely disposed of the body.
Oh, my cover.
Story time. He ripped into the bagel ravenously as if tearing into the carcass of a dead gazelle.
Dude.
Story time. The woman was alone, but she seemed to be haunted by ghosts of her past.
You're haunting me.
Story time. The girl offered him a flyer, but he refused, but she gravely insisted. Story time. And that's when they became horribly lost.
Are we lost?
No.
He lied.
Stop it.